Hello friends, today we will talk about a very serious issue, and that issue is related to your lifestyle, your economy, your finances and your health. Now what is that issue? That is what we are going to discuss today. As you know that we ask questions every day and we discuss the answer to it. Today in this video, we will ask another question, and that question might shake your entire world. We all know that COVID-19 just happened a few years ago, and that became a global pandemic. COVID-19 caused millions of lives, but still it was not so dangerous as we had seen another pandemic in 1919 to 20, and that pandemic is Spanish flu. I hope you all know about Spanish flu. It happened from 1919 to 20, and that caused the death of 50 million people, and it was very devastating at that time. But COVID-19 was better. I mean, in COVID-19, people were getting infected, but the recovery rate was very high. COVID-19 was not so much fatal as Spanish flu was. And so you can say that we were saved. But you'll be shocked to know that a UK expert predicted that a disease X would arrive in our world, and that could drive another global pandemic. Now the name disease X is given by World Health Organization, and that is why this is very serious. Now the question comes here. The question of today's video is, what can disease X do to the humanity and how it can impact our life? We all had an experience of COVID-19. In COVID-19, we had lockdowns. Some people were dying, but most of them are recovering, and that was a positive sign. The health structure was completely get disrupted in many developed countries, and if you talk about developing countries, the conditions were very bad. Now, we all know that COVID-19 caused 20 million deaths, but this disease, the disease X, which is called by WHO, if it comes, then it can cause a global pandemic similar to Spanish flu. During the Spanish flu, 50 million people died, and it is estimated that if disease X comes in our world, in that pandemic, in that global pandemic, there are chances that almost 50 million people can die. And so we can say that disease X effect, the effect of disease X would be similar to Spanish flu. And the effect of disease X would be twice the effect of COVID-19. The effect which we had seen in COVID-19, which already disturbs us and our economy, the disease X is even twice than that. It is 2 times more than the effect. Now, why people are worried with disease X? Because the fatality rate of disease X is estimated to be 67%. That means if there are 100 people who will be infected with disease X, out of them 67 would die, and that is a concern. Because if, let's say, in a country, if there are 100 people, and if 67 of them will die due to disease X, then that is a alarming situation for us. And one more question. If 100 people would get infected, then 67 people will die? Yes, that is true. If, let's say, 100 people would get infected with disease X, then out of that, 67 will surely die as per the health experts in UK. And that is the reason why this is concerning. Now, why this disease is called as disease X? Why it doesn't have any name? Friends, you all know that every disease like this, like COVID-19 or Spanish flu, they are caused by some pathogens, which are either virus, bacteria, or other microorganisms. We don't know what would cause disease X. It might be caused by a virus or a pathogen or a microorganism or by bacteria. We are still not clear about that, because scientists are getting the evidence that yes, this disease might come and some kind of microorganism are responsible for that, but the nature of that microorganism is still unclear for us, and we do not have any idea that what kind of virus or bacteria will cause this disease, because they are still unknown to us, and that is a very dangerous situation. During COVID-19, scientists estimated that the virus which is responsible for that was detected, and it was also analyzed, which helped us to make an effective vaccine. But in this case, for disease X, still we are not clear that which virus or microorganism or bacteria are going to cause the disease. And that is alarming, because if you do not know what is the nature of virus, then you can never make a vaccine on that. That is why, according to UK health experts, they are ramping up to produce vaccines. I mean, they are trying to figure it out what kind of virus would cause the disease, because this is certain, and because these are done with mathematical, I mean, with proper scientific understanding. And scientists don't tell lie. They always tell what is truth because they believe in data, and we know in most of the time they prove to be correct. So that is a very dangerous situation for the humanity, for the earth, for the entire human culture. Because we know what COVID-19 did to us financially as well as with other aspects of our life. Because COVID-19 affected our financial part as well as our other aspects. But this disease X, is estimated to be twice dangerous than COVID-19, which is similar to the effects which we had seen during Spanish flu, and that would really result in a drastic situation for the our human culture. Now the question is, why we are getting this kind of news that with this bacteria or this virus might cause another global pandemic? Why? Because according to the UK experts, they say it because of the globalization of our culture. Yes, more and more people are coming to the cities, and that is why more and more people are interacting with each other, and that might result in this global pandemic. Along with that, the nature which we had, the pollution which we are having, and the other human factors are responsible for this kind of effect. So, my friends, I have a request for you, that try to restore forest as much as you can, try to plant trees, and try to be eco-friendly. Do not do any activity which goes against our environment, because already the world is at the brink of destruction if this news is correct. And I'm telling you, when COVID-19 came, a scientist told us that COVID-19 is just a tip of the iceberg. In the coming years, we might be getting more and more global pandemic. Just believe, in 1919 to 1920, we got one global pandemic, and that caused a devastating result for us. Till 100 years, we didn't had any global pandemic, but again COVID-19 came, and again we are hearing a news that we might again have a global pandemic of disease X. So you can see the frequency. 100 years ago, it was only one pandemic, but after 100 years, we are getting two back-to-back pandemics, because already we got COVID-19, maybe we will get another one. And I believe, I hope, I must pray to the God that we should not have to face this situation, and disease X might never come, but still we cannot ignore the scientific understanding or scientific opinion on the topic. Because the World Health Organization is also giving us a warning that this disease X might come. And you know, World Health Organization never proved to be wrong. There are many other officials who are working on it, and I hope that everything will be get sorted out. And I will share the news with you, as whatever updates I will get on it, I will share it with you. So the question which I asked today, that what kind of effect disease X will do to us and how it will affect our life, I think the answer you can guess very easily. We all know what we have seen in COVID-19. The same thing we will have to see in disease X, but this times with more dangerous effect. Because in COVID-19, we don't have the very high fatality rate. The recovery rate was very high, and that was a plus point. But in disease X, the fatality rate is 67%. Just think, if 100 men will get infected with it, then out of them 67 will die. So it is such a dangerous disease for the humanity. And the virus, and one more question, one more thing, one more topic I want to share with you, that there might be other 25 variants of that unknown virus. When I'm now, you might have a question in your mind, that if we don't know what the virus is or what the bacteria is, then how can they predict that there is a disease coming? Well, they don't know the virus, they don't know the name of the virus, they don't know the name of the bacteria or the microorganism, but they have detected that, and that is unknown. They don't know the name. That doesn't mean that they haven't seen anything. They had seen some virus or bacteria or pathogen, and that is unknown. The nature is unknown. That is the most important thing. The nature is not known to us. But we know that that disease, that pathogen might drive another global pandemic in the name of disease X. And the bacteria or virus or any microorganism which will cause it, it's still not known. The nature of it is not known. And that is what's stopping us to make effective vaccines for that disease. So that is a very serious issue for all of us. Well, I hope this will not come, but again, we cannot ignore their scientific analysis, because World Health Organization given us the warning, and I hope it is better for you me to share all this stuff with you, so that we can better prepare us mentally as well as financially. So the answer to the question which I asked in the beginning of the session, that what is disease X and what it can do to us and how it will impact our life and how it can affect our life, the answer is clear that we might again have to go in the lockdown. And this time, maybe the lockdown would be more serious because there the disease is more fatal. Maybe the health structures might get severely damaged. And that is why this is an alarming situation for the developing and third world countries, and even those countries who are underdeveloped, that you should have to ramp up your medical facilities as soon as possible to fight with this deadly virus which we or pathogen which we are about to face in the near future. Otherwise, the results, at least for our country, India, would be unimaginable. That would be unimaginable. And lockdown might be implemented, that is sure, but the fatality is also something which we cannot neglect in this case. So we might expect to lose more population for this pandemic if it comes. And if you people can go and search the Google what happened during Spanish flu, and you can compare the effect of Spanish flu with the effect of COVID-19, you can find out COVID-19 was very less impactful as compared to Spanish flu. But this time, the virus which might cause, or the pathogen which might cause DiseaseX is almost equally fatal as Spanish flu was in those days. That is why UK health experts are very worried. And I must say thank you to the UK scientists and the UK experts who helped us to, or who informed us about this calamity already in advance, so that we can prepare. And I request to all the countries to follow the guidelines of WHO and to make implementations and to help and ramp up the medical facilities so that we can cope with any situation which we will face in the future. So that's all for today in this video, and I hope you like it. And if you want to know more and more information on the daily topics, because I have pledged to ask questions on each and every domain which is possible, and that domain which is relevant to a common man. This channel is not for any science enthusiast or any physics enthusiast or any geopolitical enthusiast. This channel is for a common man who want to be aware about the questions or about the stuffs which are going on in the world. Because as a common citizen, this is our right to know, right to get information on what is happening around the world. And that is why I have come up with the idea that we will ask questions on all the topics which are relevant for a common man or relevant for a person who is very national. Okay, so that they must know what is happening and what is going on. Like today we discussed about the disease, and that was relevant to each and every humanity. Previous day I discussed about Chandrayaan 3, which was relevant to all the Indian nationals and the scientific community, that what actually we got. Then again, for past 3 days I was uploading videos on Indo-Canada relations, because that is also very important for both the nations. What is happening with India and Canada, why it is happening, this information should be spread among common people so that they can understand what is happening around in the world. So that is my mission, and I hope you will all support me and keep motivating me. So please share this video as much as possible so that people like others, like you are on this, you are knowing this from me, others must know this from the video, because the more you will share, the more people will be aware about the disease X, and that is really a serious issue. So share this video as much as possible, and if you want me to make more videos, then like it, share it, and subscribe my video, and also write down your comments below and write down the thoughts about you. I mean the disease X which you might encounter. Write down the thoughts, or write down your thoughts about the disease X and how it can affect our life. If you think that it might affect in a certain way, or how to prevent, or how we can prevent it, you can also write down in the comments below. As well as you can share your views on my video, so that I would love to see your reaction on it. So that's all for today, and hope we will be all right and this disease will not come, but still we will be very cautious about that. So that's all for today. So you can write down your comments, and also can give me suggestions that on what topic or on what question I should make my next video. So one more thing, once again, share it with your friends, with your family members, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, because this is how you'll be aware and conscious about yourself. Okay, that is what a common people needs to do if you want to be a very responsible citizen in your country. Wherever, whichever country you are from, you might be from India, UK, or any other country. If you have to be very responsible, then you should be knowing what is happening around your surroundings. So that's all today, and hope for we will meet again in the next video.